Get up at 5 o'clock every day.
Now, why is that?
Because if you get up at 5 o'clock, you get 2 hours on everybody else. Most people get up at 6 or 7 o'clock, and in those 2 hours, you can get your work done and then be free to go out and do business development the rest of the day. You're a workout guy, right?
Yeah.
I think getting up at 5, exercising daily if you can, taking care of your body, meditating, I think is important. Praying, I have no problem with that. I think that's a cool thing. The older I get, I just said this the other day, the older I get, the more I understand prayer actually works. I went through a period of time where I was like, I don't think that stuff works. Well, when your parents begin aging and your friends begin getting sick and family, and you can speak to something bigger than yourself, and then you see this improvement, you're like, I know it's not just me, but so anyway, so
seen
yeah,
that time and time again.
Yeah, having a connection with something bigger than yourself, I think too is important as a young person, and just Oscar Wilde. My favorite quote of all time is "Be yourself, everybody else is taken."
How do you do that? That's tough, especially with all the influencers out there pushing their agendas, the charlatans that are preaching their way, and how do you do that?
So I used to look like an insurance agent should look. I wore a suit, and my dad was really old school in that, and so.
Speaking of that, I hate to cut you off here. My brother was just talking to me the other day. He grew up in Muncie. Yeah. He's like, "Wait, you're meeting with Anson Thompson?" He's like, "I think I've heard his name before." He's like, I said, "Yeah, he owns Thompson Group Insurance." He's like, "Did they have billboards up around Muncie that they all looked super sharp?" He was like, "They almost looked too sharp."
Well, we've had multiple billboards, but the ones that people always want to talk about is when I put my mom and dad naked up on the
No way.
Yeah, we did nakedinsurance.net. Happy to share that story
hilarious.
too. But yeah, that was. But talking about how do you be yourself?
Yeah.
I think that. In is this video? Are we videotaping?
Yeah, we are videotaping.
Okay,
yeah.
okay. So people who watch this will see I probably don't look like your average insurance professional, and I do that for a reason. So I looked like that guy for a long time, and I played the role. And one day I realized, and really I think a lot of it had to do with my divorce. I went through a divorce, and don't get divorced. That's another tip I would give. Horrific. Thankfully, my ex-wife and I are on amazing terms. Good. I found another love of my life. But anyway, don't do that. But after my divorce, I was really trying to determine, okay, well, what's next, right? I just, this failed, and I'm a failure and all this stuff. And I thought, well, I've always wanted to be a little bit different. And so, I grew my hair out a little bit and began wearing not that this is important, but just I started not dressing as maybe one should as a professional, meaning sport coat, T-shirt, jeans before you could wear jeans, and just really being relaxed about what I was doing. And somebody asked, especially when I went up to Colorado, what's your you're not supposed to do what you're doing. And I said, listen, I want to be the agent. I want to be the insurance professional that's on stage with 99 others. And I wrote a book called The Rule of 8%. Completely made this up. But I think that in a room, if there's 100 people on the stage, 8% are going to be gravitating to, various people. And I'm not for everybody. I know that, right? Yeah. I know that.
When you can accept that too, I think it sets you apart.
Yeah. And so I know that if people meet me, and if given an opportunity to have a conversation, I can connect with those with similar values. Yeah. Happens every day.
Yeah.
Happens every day. I meet new people. I just met a guy right before I came in, man. Andy's his name. He's a real estate guy. Got 7 kids.
Wow.
But just had a beautiful conversation with this guy. So anyway, I think you need to really find out who you are and not try to fit the mold of who you're supposed to be, and then the universe will reward you with putting people in your universe. Example, the meeting in Colorado, first meeting I went to, 5 business cards. One of those business cards was the business coach I hired when I got there. He found the agency for me. The idea that I would have met him in the very first meeting, and then joined his peer group. And just recently he retired, so that's why I got the new business coach. But had him mentor me from 2016 all the way to 2023. So I don't know. And I had this, I want to live in Colorado. I want to start another company. I want to still live in Indianapolis. But I I just, if you can think about it, if you I wrote this morning that if you are not happy, then why aren't you happy? And remove those things that aren't making you happy. I mean, I'm the happiest dude you're going to meet today. I promise you. I can do anything I want right now. I can do anything. I get to get up. If I want to go work out, I can work out. I want to take my dog for a walk. I can hang out. If I want to take a nap, I can take a nap. The key to be successful is answer your mother hunkin' phone. If your phone rings, and it's not a sales guy, right?
Pick it up.
Pick it up. And the 24/7. I answer the phone after 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
So I get the after hours calls, and they call me. Now, like if it's a Sunday afternoon and somebody calls me on a billing issue, I'll be like, the offices really are closed. I handle claims on the weekends. Let me have your name and number. I use paper plates. Another long story, but I use paper plates for all my notes. And so I write their name, cell phone, and then, maybe a quick note, vehicle change, billing question, whatever. And I take a picture of that, and then I shoot that to my service team. Okay. And then they know on Monday morning they're going to call Jimmy.
Are you offering it up on a plate? Is that what
I offer it up on a plate?
I love that.
The paper plates came this way. For 6 months, we rented a place where the Denver Broncos play. Okay. And we were I was a minority in this neighborhood. I mean, it was culturally amazing. But I was like one of the only guys that looked like me,
right?
Which I thought was cool, you know. So, but there was a lake called Sloan's Lake that was about 2 miles away, and my wife and I would about every day get up because we're new there, right? I mean, I have my Indiana clients, but I don't have anything going on out there, and we would walk, and we would go down to Sloan's Lake, and as we would walk the mile or two around the lake, we would take notes. And early on, we realized paper wasn't going to do it, so we started using paper plates. So if you go to my house right now, in our kitchen, there's about 4 paper plates with notes all over them. And when I walk into meetings, hilarious. I might have a paper plate. We closed the deal. I should say this. Our offer for the agency in Colorado was on a paper plate. The guy was like, "What the hell is this?" I'm like, "This is our offer." He's like,
offering it to you on a plate.
I've never seen this before. I'm like, "Well, it's So anyway, that's
hilarious.
There's a lot of uniqueness there to the Thompsons.